Hello, everyone. So we are from five, and today
Just
we
just a moment. Is this the last group?
yes.
Okay, we'll keep going.
Okay. So we are from group five, and the topic that we are doing is money managing. So this is our process. So the first process we interview 15 people and then get the user profile. Then we release the form and scatter plot. After we get the scatter plot, we will make the user journey. And on this process, we already know the extreme. And then after that, we are trying to understand the extreme user. And then doing the persona and then design brief. So this might not you might not be able to understand it clearly enough. So no worry about that because we will dig into the detail of each process. First, user profile. We have 16 people and then we interview the age 17 to 22 because this age of this group of people, they know what they are doing, they know what they are spending, they already like be able to think of what they are doing, but they are not like 100% worker or working yet. So this is the example of the this is the user profile that we have from 16 people. Okay, this is just overall picture. So we are talking to them and trying to figure out what is the interesting point and what is the problem, trying to understand them. One thing that we think is very interesting to talking about and do some more research is the topic about how they spend their money. See, some people mention, this is the quote what this person mentioned. He said that he paid with game purchase. And this is just the example of the picture that we asked him to capture for us to see like what type of game, how he spent. And some people say that, like some people mention that he or she buying skin in game, paying a lot in games. See, some people top up in the game about 3,000 baht, or some see these two people, um, or some people even paid for like lost around 10,000 baht per game. And some people interested of buying collectible stuff. See, there are many different type of stuff that people interested of and different amount of money that they're willing to pay it for. See, this is the picture that we asked them to capture for us. Some people paid for bag or cosmetic or computer accessories as well, or phone case, stationaries, notebook decorator. So from all of these categories, we feel like we should dig deeper into these categories and do some more research about it. However, just only from 16 people, it's not even clear enough to know that we cover all the categories in this big group of people, not just these 16 people. And that's why it leads us to find more categories from Shopee, which is one of the online shopping website that Thai people use a lot, and we use these categories to include in the form for this process. And in this process, we release form to trying to figure it out which is the top three categories that people spend money on. This group of people spend money on, and see that 114 people doing this form, so we can feel ensure more that it's be able to trust. This is some of the example from the form of the questions that we asked them, like the top three categories that this group of people spend and how much amount of money that they would be able to spend without worrying. And also how did they decide from logical side to emotional side. And this is the final result out of the form. See that the top three categories are clothes, the top one, and cosmetic, and then after that buying game items. So one of these three categories, we are going to do the research about them. However, we still not be able to tell yet how it's interesting enough. So we do the scatter plot graph to see that the overall pictures of these three categories, like which one we should doing the research about it, and we also summarize the information based on the form, the previous one. So from close, this is the scatter plot graph. From close that we can see, this is the overall picture. See that most people spend under 1,000 baht, and only some like 2 people that spend higher than that from the form. And that might not be able to see clearly enough, so we zoom it in so you can see that there are more people under there. And this is the difference between male and female that buying clothes. See, mostly the people that check on the form that they spend a lot of clothes, buying clothes, they are women, and 64% of male use emotional for buying clothes, and 71% of the female use the emotional, which is quite not very far away number. And next, cosmetic, the scatter plot graph from cosmetic. See, this is the overall picture. Most people spend under 1,000 as well, and some only like not many people spend more than that. And this is what we zoom in pictures so everyone can see it clearer. See that.
Excuse me, is this per month or per bill, per purchase?
Per month, and the overall purchase per month, like the low amount of money that they're willing to buy and spend.
Per purchase.
Sorry.
Sorry.
We actually we conclude it later after this, but yeah, this is just for purchase. And this one, the game top up. See that the overall most people also spend under 1,000 baht, and only like tiny number of people that spend higher than that. This is the zoom in pictures of these people under there. And this is the difference between male and female. See that there are quite equally amount of people between male and female. However, one thing that we can see out of this graph is the way they decide how they spend. See, from the logical side, not many people choose the logical side when they spend like game top up. So that leads us to why we choose this one, because not many people use the logical side. And we think that this is very interesting to dig deeper into this group of people. Why they use a lot of emotional, and why some people spend a lot of money. And that's why we decide this group of people who buying game item into different group. So first, the A, you see on the under left. This group of people is our extreme from the left side. They use a lot of logical with low amount of money when they are buying game item. And from the opposite side, the E group, which is our another extreme from another side, see that they use a lot of emotional and with high amount of money. So this is how we separate them into groups. See that we use the how they decide per how much they paid normally. And this is the bell curve out of the previous slide, so you can see it easier. See that the C group, they spend the big amount of people that in the C group. See right there, many C in the middle.
Okay, so after we decide to dig deeper into the game top up, we did the user journey that made around 17 people. So before I'm gonna show you how the user journey map looks like, okay, we decide to divide the evaluate into 2 evaluate, because for people who pay by game official channel and some in case they're finding other sources to top up. So that's why we have to evaluate, and there are some motivations and pay and receive, and we also collect the activity, how they the experience, how they feel, the cost, their expectations, platforms and device, what game they play, and what the device they use. So we're as we divide the user journey into the group that we get in the first group is a group that use less money and high logical. You see they use like 20 baht and more logical like 2, and it is trend to serious at first, but result it's always happy, like they think too much when they spend their money. Prepare with the E group. You see in the bell curve, the E group is just much money and high emotional, and you see they use the 30,000 baht per purchase, and H it's very high emotional, like they tend to happy at first, but result may be good or bad, like they use a lot of money like many times, and they didn't expect much to the result. So that's why we choose to dig deeper into the extreme user, and we choose the group of people D and E who use high emotion and high amount of money. So we are going to do the understanding extreme user who use a very high amount of money and very high emotional too. So if we are going to decide something for them, we have to understand them first. Okay, so the extreme user journey, we did 7 people. But before I show you the extreme user journey, we are doing the deep desk research about game top up. First, I searched about the statistic that in 2021, Thai people use the smartphone like 90.7% to play the game. So we decided to choose the mobile game to search in, and we found out that there are 2 ways to pay to top up the game. First, it's got the stuff that pay 100%, like you can pay it and you can get the stuff definitely. And second is have to take a risk to get the stuff, like gachapon. You have to pay the money into the game, and you can guess that you can get the stuff or not. So this is an example of the game that we gonna show you, like the cost stuff that pay 100%, like LTV, ROV, and PUBG Mobile. And this is the store that show that you can purchase it with your money and you get the stuff. And second one is you have to take a risk to get the stuff, as NNTTV, PUBG Mobile, Genshin Impact, Free Fire, ROV. This game you have to like do the random box like gachapon, and you don't know that you get the stuff or not. So not only this research, I also try to top up the game by myself. First, I spent around 528 baht to top up this game PUBG Mobile on the gachapon, because I want to know what the user feel when they play. And you see that I mentioned here, it's they are guaranteed that if I play it 5 times, 15 times, 25 times, I will get the like special level of item definitely. So it's manipulate me to spend more on this, and I now I understand why people spend a lot of money on the game that gachapon, that the game made us think that we can get it.
Yeah, see, like they put some trick for their game player, so they feel like they need to continue more to get the stuff. If they paid more in the game, and they will get some stuff good, so that's why they keep continue.
Yeah, but my result isn't good, because like I have after I get this stuff, I have to play around 25 times, but in like 5 and 15 it's not good item. So okay, we continue on the extreme user, that we understand the reason why they spend a high amount of money, that all of them got more than 100 baht per month like income, as the example of this guy, he got around 100,000 baht from his parent per month. So we divided extreme user that we did 7 people into 2 groups. First, the group that pay for the stuff that paid 100%. You see the emotional that the color show. It is the result may be random because they can get that happy at first, but in it they will get bored in the short time. And for the person that for the people who have to take a risk to get the stuff, I divide into the 2 group of people here because the upper group is the people that guarantee that they will get the stuff. Like you can spend like 3,000 baht to get the stuff definitely, and the people down there is are the people who spend and didn't expect about the result because maybe he get or not or don't get it. So after we understand all the extreme user, and we can choose our target group into group D and E as I said in the previous, we going to do the persona. The first persona is from the group D. You can see in the bell curve. Her name is Dawn, age 19. She got 10,000 baht from her family, and she did the part-time job that she only take care of the neighbor dog, so he gained the money easily, so she used them easy too. She play ROV and Wild Rift, like a mobile game, and her goal motivation, whenever she want any collect, she will buy mostly every time that new skin release, if that skin is her favorite game character. She wants to be one of the newest person who own the new skin. And you see the chart that show the percentage of how much money she spent for the game per income. Like she spent 60% of her income to the game, and the percentage of how much emotional per logical, like people in this group, like group D, not only high emotional like 9 or 10, they like use like 6 or 7 around it. So this come up like how our persona come like from group D user journey. We dig deeper into the interview that based on how the user use their money on whatever they like, because they can earn money themselves easy, so they don't think much use the money. And this also the motivation is from the user journey, the money management is from the user profile, the and how they spend the money, like percentage is also from the user journey, and the information from the form A. Sorry. Okay, the second persona is from the group E of people that we choose. His name is Sky, age 18, and his income is 60,000 baht. Sorry. Okay, so he received 60,000 baht from his dad per month, only for buying things he likes, and others expense such as clothes, food, transportations, his parents will support. So he plays like PUBG Mobile and ROV. He used all the money. You can see the percentage that he spent all the 100% of his income into the game, and he used like 9 emotional to pay. His goal is to collect all the skin in game collection, so he paid a lot in the game, and he played the game every day after class around 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Okay, how the personas come up, like we dig deeper into the extreme user journey that we did, and also the goal and motivation we are from the user journey.
Okay, now design brief. So this is our design brief. We are trying to help life of teenagers who use emotional to spend their money, to be able to see the value of money and spend more carefully. So based on our research that we talk about our extreme user, all of them, some of them do work, do some part-time job, but it's very easily to obtain the money. But most of them, they will get the money from their parents and get huge amount of money. They also not doing the money managing skill, so they don't really see the real value of money. and that's why they are not really care of how they spend that much, because if they spend much, they can wait for next month to get more money. So we see that this is one of the problems that we need to help them and decide something for these people. So maybe they can come up and use the money and spend more carefully, or use the money to do something else that useful, more useful. So that's why we come up with this design brief. And that's all for our presentation. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Time for you to go first.
Okay. I have to say, like, sorry, I did not note anything. I feel like I enjoy presentation. Okay. And then I totally forgot to note anything. Okay. All is good. Stay to Ajahn Gap. Thank you. Totally forgot to note anything.
Yeah. It's a very good sign.
It should be here, right?
It's a very good sign that when you forgot to note something, it means it flows pretty much, and you can't find like contradictory stuff. So yeah, I would say congratulations on that one. I found a bit of stuff that could be done better, but it's not a lot, because you've done a lot already, and the method that you did is very logical of how you come up with the end. However, the end the design brief itself can be changed a bit, but let's go from the start. Come on, let's go from the start. All right. Okay, and this will be something that I would like the other groups to look at as well, because there's some of the things that they did very well here to form a very solid ground before they go into the persona and the design brief. All right, keep going. Next. This is good. You see here, if you go back. Right, this one is a very clear thing. So at the start, we know exactly what you plan to do. We know exactly how you will tackle this project, right? Although you need a bit of explanation, but it gives us an overview of exactly what to do. Okay, so next. Next. That's fine. It's like the other groups. I have nothing to comment about. Next. Okay, so this one is good. Not many groups have this. This is where you show that you understand and you actually have some information from the user, and you have different evidences for each user as well. Okay, next. Yeah, same here. You have different kind of stuff. You have different kind of thing. You have evidence that you did. So as from an evidence-based designer, as like me, this is what I want to see. This shows that you understand the topic, you did the research, you have something to back it up without saying much. Okay, so for the other groups, next time you have to present in a project like this, it's very critical that you show that you have it. You have something to show, like this. It's good. And you have categories. Fine. Next. It's fine. Next. Okay. So they did the surveys. They actually go through the survey question of how to come up with it, which is good. Next. And I think one of the things that they did well, if you go back to the slides, they have the question that actually asks, please pick 3 out of all this thing. So it's already helping me as a user or as an observer to instantly realizes what are the most important things, or the most frequent thing that people spend their money on, right? It could be done better. For example, if they pick the first tier would be game, then you ask next, how do you decide for game? Is it mainly emotional or is it mainly logical? Then they pick the second one, you ask the same question again. So if they choose clothing, is it mainly emotional or is it mainly logical? Then again on the third one, or maybe clothes or maybe shoes, is it mainly emotional or logical? So you have a separate answer for each of the categories or each of the top 2, 3 that they pick. It could be done better, but I think this is fine too, because you have the top 3 and the overall way to select from the user. Could be done better, but this is enough. Next.
Excuse me, please. We actually asked them in each categories, but we didn't show here. However, we ask each categories like how much they spend, how they decide for each.
Okay. And then it's good. It's good. Okay, next. It's good. It is good. Yeah, next. Right, next. Okay. So you present them here. So that's what that was I thought. Anyway, next. I like the way you present here. You divide into male and female. So we see actually that male doesn't care so much and female cares a lot, and they would spend a lot more money. One of the things that I would like you to put on is this, to summarize the average of male and female for me. So on the average, male would here 64% use emotional, and the price, what's the average price range? Yeah, if I have that, it would be better for me to try to understand all this stuff by myself. Yeah, I just put in a bit more and it's fine. Next. Next. Yeah, same thing. Next. Yeah, next. Fine. Next. All right. So I like the way that you choose, because you have a reason to pick. And here, this is very important for every one of the group. You must have a reason why you choose this thing. Yeah, it can be whatever it is, but there must be a strong prop. There must be a strong enough reason. So in here, you say that people use emotion more than logical thinking to buying game items. I think what you're lacking here is the comparison between the rest of why is this the outlier. Yeah, maybe some numbers, maybe something that say, hey, actually, we found that people use 90% of the emotion when they buy games, compared to 63%, 43%, and 15%. Then it's clear why you pick this one. Yeah, next. Right. I think the way you divide up the user here is good. One way of doing it, you can use circular, whatever it is. But I think what you did next is even better when you do it as a bell curve. Can we go to the bell curve page? But this one is very, very clear. All right, I think it's good. Ajahn Ponyuk, will you say the same thing? It's good, right? In here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be, good if you can show how to translate from the previous slide to this slide. Bell curve is the last answer for sure, but the way they analyze is good too. But just show for example, you just loaded the bell curve and to map into the previous slide. I think it's gonna be much better.
That'll be better too. Yeah. Maybe you can do an overlay of it. That's fine as well. But anyways, it's good that you decide to make it into a bell curve. Okay, next. Right, next. Okay. I'm not really sure whether this should be here or should be a bit before, because you already talked with some user, then suddenly here's 17 people you did. So I'm not sure how you come up or how you choose your user here. Do you have a slide on that? Can we go next?
Do you mean like the people that we asked them to for
Yeah.
the journey?
Yeah.
So we in the form, the previous form, we asked them to contact, like leave the contact.
And then you call them up, right?
Yeah. So anyone that picked
good.
top 3 games.
Okay, so you refer to what you did, and then you go back to learn more about each of the user. Yeah. Okay. Can we go next? Next. All right. So you have group A here. How many people did you talk to in this one? Just one, right?
2. Just
2, right? Okay.
Not
So
many
that's
people. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, it's good. It's good here because you learn about this one, which is good. Next. Okay, it's good as well. You talk to 8 people here for D and E. Can you go back?
Sorry, go.
Yeah, how many people did you talk to in this one?
At first, at user journey first, we just find just talk to one extreme user. So we decide to find more extreme user
Yeah.
in the
In this group, since we found out that this is we can see that
Okay.
final result.
Now, what is your criteria of choosing an extreme user?
Because we think that the final outcome you see on the receive right side, the emotion that out of their feeling, they are like not very stable. Sometimes they're happy, sad, and so we think that we want to see more like why did this happen, since they are happy at the beginning, but why the final outcome, sometimes they are not happy for that.
Yeah, but what is the main criteria do you choose as an extreme user? The money that they spend?
oh
Yeah, and emotion.
Yeah.
Okay, do they have to all be above 30,000?
30,000 is the amount of money that they're willing to pay without worrying.
Okay,
But
and
this
you
person
say
actually buy more than that.
right. Okay, so out of 8 people you talk to, they all spend more than 30,000, right?
What do you mean 8 people?
So you talk to more people about this one, right? You talk to a bit more people.
That is the after the process, since we
Yeah.
know. Yeah. After that we talk to 7, 8 around that.
around 7 people, and
Yeah.
Okay.
and there are no people that spend more than 30,000, that around like 2 or 3,000 baht for
Okay.
per process.
So pretty much you're saying this, for the user to be in group E, they have to spend more than 3,000 baht or 2,000 baht.
We can show you the how we
Okay,
separate.
show me.
See this one.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's group E is like more than
1,000.
yes.
It depends on the
Okay, it's good. Just rechecking that the person who you talk to is actually follow with your standard. All right.
We ask them before we dig deeper and talk
Yes.
more about their journey.
I have question. You show that like you talk to 2 people in the group E, right?
Eight
From
people from group
no,
E.
I mean like from the chart, right? From the chart before the bell curve, the slide before the bell curve. This is the top blue one, the top right blue one is 2 people that you talk to in group E, right?
One of them are, and another one we found later than this, but we talked to them and then they are in A group.
Okay, and what about 8 people? You mean that you found it to 1 or 2 people in the E group, and then you would like to confirm, and then you found more this kind of people later, right?
Yeah. We talked to the 8 people, that the extreme user in group E. After we found it that the group E is interesting, so we decide to dig deeper into this group of people.
Yeah, because just only just like less amount of people, that is not clear enough. So that's why we
Okay,
need to have more.
that are the extra one, right?
Yes. After this.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's very good because I already know that if the extreme user is too small number, you should find more people in that group to confirm, to explore or to confirm the result. I think it's good.
See, this is the process that we talk more to the extreme user. However, they are quite very hard to find them. Yeah, but we try our best and we got 7 people more.
Okay. All right. Next. This is good. It's good that you decide to get deeper. It's good. So do you spend my money?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good. You spend my money. Very good.
Myself.
Now, go next. Okay. I think what you learn here is pretty good. Next. Okay, I think it would be also important to create a statement of what you guys found by doing it by yourself, of how you feel and stuff like that, to be mentioned on the slide as well, right? Because that is something that you should be summarizing as you yourself who did it compared to them. Do you have the same experience or you don't? You know, and would you categorize yourself on the bell curve to be at where and what? So then you learn more about yourself. Okay, we actually here on this bell curve. We might be number E, we might be number B or C or D. You know, so you know as a designer, you can put yourself there. Yeah? Next. That's fine. Next. This is good that you did a lot of stuff about how you feel about guarantee and stuff like that. Now, okay. This is a bit of a problem for me. I found that group D and E are pretty similar. Yeah. So.
Excuse me, please. Sorry for interrupt.
Yeah.
But this one is actually also the different deeper extreme user. Remember that one group of people, they are extreme and they spend a lot for the stuff that they will get 100%, and another group, they take a risk and they might get the stuff or might not. So we also put that two group of the extreme who pay into this persona.
Okay, good. And what would be your justification that these are a very important thing to separate? Why would this be?
The group of people that take a risk, they spend a lot of money, and when they are happy, if they get the stuff, and mostly they need to spend a lot to get because the quarantine thing. So that is very interesting for us to know about that. I answer your question. Sorry.
Not really. I think there should be a better explanation here when you try to divide them into two different user groups. Is it because the way they're thinking is completely different? One is they want to be safe, and one want to take risks. And we think that this is an extremely important aspect to talk about. Then it starts to become clearer. Like we found that among this super extreme group who spend a lot, they're actually the one who want to play safe and the one who want to risk the game. And this is why we should separate them, because their ideology is very different from the two. If you can explain it like this, it's good. All right, but you have to make a very clear explanation why these are very different. Okay. If you have these two, it's fine. My problem here is you only talk about two personas. There are